Welcome back, everybody, to the New York Knicks, MyNBA franchise here on NBA 2K23. We are around halfway through the season here in year number 4, and the team is playing really well as we currently sit at a record of 28-11. We had this game in the last episode against Minnesota where we were down by 15 with a minute and a half to go, and we somehow won. I still don't know how we pulled it off. We also have our first prospect profile of the season today, in which we'll be going over the top prospects in this year's draft. You obviously got to keep in mind the draft board will change throughout the year, but for now, these are the top 10 prospects. Our team is obviously really good, so you'd think that this section isn't super important for us. Wrong. Don't forget, we had the Chicago Bulls first-round draft pick this year. It's unprotected, and the Bulls currently have the worst record in the NBA. We had their pick last year. It was top 10 protected, and it did not convey because the Bulls were really bad. They ended up with the 6th pick, in which they drafted Jalen Witherspoon, who has been their leading scorer, averaging 20 a night. Along with the Bulls pick, which is the projected number 1 pick right now, we also have a top 5 protected pick from Toronto. The Raptors are sort of stuck in the play-in territory. They're currently the 11th seed in the Eastern Conference. There's a big heap of teams in this range, but if the Raptors don't get in, then we might have 2 lottery picks on our hands to go along with our own first-round pick. A contending team like us may rather use these draft picks to acquire stars, but if we hold on to these selections, it'll be important to know which prospects really fit our team. It's a very talented group of top 10 prospects, and again, we will see the draft board fluctuate up and down, but I think this is a really good group of guys at the top of the class. I'm excited to go over them. Right now, I think it's a two-way race for the number 1 pick between Dalen Battle out of Kentucky and Apollo Fanopoulos, a center from Greece. All 3 of the mock drafts have us selecting Fanopoulos with the number 1 pick, and of the 2, I think he's probably the better fit for what we're looking for. Fanopoulos is a 7'1", 260-pound center. He's not a unicorn type of prospect, as we've seen with some other big men in recent years, but he is as steady as they come down low. He is a presence offensively in the post, and defensively, this is a guy who's versatile, and down low, put him in the paint. He's going to be one of the best rim protectors in the NBA right away. He's an ascending scorer. He's really improved his jump shot, still needs to improve from 3, not an elite playmaker, but he is a rock in the middle of your team at center. Let's compare him to some other recent top prospects at center. Zachary Archibald out of the University of Alabama was the number 1 pick last year. I think Archibald has Fanopoulos beat in terms of playmaking ability and probably scoring, but I think Fanopoulos is a little bit more dominant defensively, and I think he's a better interior scorer than Archibald as well. What about Christopher Killebrew, the 2nd overall pick a few years ago? He's having an all-star level season with the Utah Jazz. I think Killebrew certainly has Fanopoulos beat as a scorer, as a jump shooter, as a ball handler, and as a playmaker. And again, Apollo Fanopoulos is not a unicorn like Killebrew, but I think Fanopoulos is a better athlete. I think he's a better defensive player. And I think Apollo Fanopoulos is a guy who could win multiple Defensive Player of the Years in his career. Next up, we have Dalen Battle, the other guy in the running to be the number 1 pick. He's a 6'6", lightning-quick combo guard who is a phenomenal playmaker. One of the best passers in this draft class. This is a guy who is phenomenal in transition. He's a good shot creator. And in terms of athleticism and explosiveness, nobody in this draft class has him beat. He's a little bit inefficient as a scorer, but I do think he has improved as a jump shooter throughout the year at the University of Kentucky. And again, good defensive player, good playmaker, and his athleticism is just off the charts. I think you really can't go wrong with picking either Battle or Fanopoulos if you end up winning the draft lottery, because they're both 2 spectacular players. Let's look down the board a little bit. We'll start with Rogério Micht out of Brazil. He's a raw guard with a lot of upside. I don't think he'll be a top 3 pick when it's all said and done, but he is a very talented player. Realistically, chances are the Knicks will not end up with a top 2 pick, so this is really the range of prospects they should be looking at with their Bulls first-round pick. Micht in specific is a talented scorer, although he's not the most efficient. He needs to do a little bit better as a shot creator. Below average defensively as well, but he is a good playmaker for his size. Diallo out of Miami is the perfect role player, in my opinion. Maybe you don't want to draft a role player in the top 5, I get that. But Diallo has no weaknesses to his game. He's 6'8", 240 pounds. He's built like an ox. He's a good scorer, improving shooter, good playmaker for his size, and he's a phenomenal defender, particularly along the perimeter. I see a poor man's Draymond Green with him, and I think for a team like the Knicks, he'd be a great fit. Obadiah Washington out of the Ohio State University is one of the most fun players to watch in this class. A crafty combo guard who has a highlight reel of plays, but he is not the most consistent really at all. He needs to improve as a jump shooter, and while he does have impressive range from deep, he's not the most efficient, he's not a phenomenal shot creator, and his shot IQ is rather poor. I will say he is a good playmaker for his size and a good defender as well, so if he can improve his shot selection ability, he could be really good. So last year in the offseason, we abolished the one-and-done rule. That kind of went under the radar because it was during the draft preview episode, and we went over a lot that day. But now high schoolers can enter the draft. The top-ranked high school player in the class of 2025 is point guard Khalid Dior from La Lumiere School in LaPorte, Indiana. All indications suggest that Dior will not go to college, and rather he will enter the NBA right away. As you would expect, with him only being a high school senior, he's a little bit more raw than some of the other prospects at the top of this draft. He's not a very good jump shooter, he's not a great defender, but boy is he explosive. He can drive to the basket at an effortless level. He is improving as a shooter. I want to see some more work there. But La Lumiere High School has developed some good NBA players in recent years. Look at guys like Jaren Jackson Jr., Jordan Poole, Isaiah Stewart, Jaden Ivey, and Jeremy Sohan amongst the recent graduates, and Khalid Dior will be looking to add himself onto that list. He could be a top 3 pick based on upside, but I could see him slipping down the board because he is a little bit more raw than some of the other top prospects this year. Forward Buddy Johnson out of the University of Florida is on the complete opposite end of the spectrum as Dior. He's a 2-year collegiate player who has been arguably the best player in college basketball this year for the Gators, and he's a really, really reliable player on both ends of the floor. He's a good jump shooter, good defensive player, good athlete. I don't think he has the upside that some of the other guys atop this class do, but I'm convinced he's going to be a good player right off the bat with his jump shooting ability and his rock-solid perimeter defense. He's a solid playmaker for his size. He's an all-around scorer, and he checks pretty much all of the boxes. So I think this is another guy who could be a good fit for the Knicks because he's going to be able to get NBA minutes consistently as a rookie. Chris Williams out of Memphis is a pretty fun player. You need somebody who can put the ball in the bucket. That's Chris Williams. He's a little bit inconsistent as a shooter, but he knows how to drive to the basket, and he knows how to make plays. He's a tough physical scorer who can make plays in contact. The rest of his game needs quite a bit of work. He's still not a great defender. He's really not a great playmaker for his size, only being 6'4", 200 pounds, which limits his versatility offensively. He's not a great ball handler as well. He mainly makes plays off the ball, but he is a good shot creator, and he is a good athlete. Next up, we'll take a look at Pasquale Baccaro, originally hailing from Italy, now playing for the University of Kentucky. He's a 6'10" point forward who is a gifted offensive player. He reminds me a lot of a poor man's Paolo Banchero. This is a guy who can dribble, he can pull up from deep, he's got good range for his size, and defensively there are some things to like, but he is a work in progress on that area of the floor. I think he will be worth a top 10 pick. I think he's the modern NBA forward. The last guy we're going to look at today is Abdoulaye Oshefu from Texas Southern. Yeah, I know, Texas Southern is not the biggest of programs, and because of that, Oshefu does not play against the elite competition, but that does not diminish how good he has been this year. Most NBA scouts did not know Abdoulaye Oshefu before the year, but his draft stock has skyrocketed. He leads all of college basketball in points per game. He's the leading passer and rebounder for the Texas Southern Tigers, and while he is not a great shooter and very inconsistent defensively, I do like his feel for the game and his ability to see the floor, along with really, really good athleticism. So that'll wrap up our first prospect profile of the season. I'm excited to go over all of the other prospects as we get closer and closer to the end of the season and eventually the draft. But again, I think this is a really good group of guys at the top of the draft. And now we'll shift our attention back to the New York Knicks, who are currently second place in the Eastern Conference, only half a game behind the Detroit Pistons. Right now, it really looks like a 4-team race, although Boston has kind of slipped a little bit. But on the other hand, the Charlotte Hornets have been really good the last couple of months, so I think the Hornets are going to be right up there with us as we get towards the end of the season. The Western Conference is a little bit more cut and dry. The Rockets are by far the best team here. The Thunder and the Sonics take up their own tier, and then after that, it is a mishmash of everybody else who's all kind of still in it. Everybody other than the top three are all within like 7 games of each other. So I have done some messing around with the shooting tendencies. I want Jason Tatum to shoot the ball more. He hasn't been inefficient at all. In fact, he's been really efficient, but his scoring numbers are down because he's not shooting the ball as much as he did in Boston. While our team might have more talented players than Boston has the last couple of years, I still want Jason Tatum to be shooting the ball a lot because, well, he's really good at it. Other than that, there aren't really any complaints with the team right now. We're fully healthy for the first time really all season. And I really want to play this matchup against the Grizzlies, who are currently the 9th seed in the Western Conference. They're one of the many teams currently stuck in that mishmash. They are led by Ja Morant, the tied for highest rated player in the NBA. Morant was the former number 2 overall pick out of Murray State. He's a very talented, dynamic guard, and I'm really worried about his shooting ability, as you can see here by some of his badges, that no other player in the NBA currently has. Along with Ja Morant, they have some other good young players as well, including Desmond Bane, Kyrie Irving, and Jaren Jackson Jr. Right before this game, the Grizzlies actually ended up making a trade. They swapped one of their young guards, Freddie Prinze Jr., to the Boston Celtics in exchange for veteran forward Rui Hachimura, who will not play tonight for the Grizzlies, but it is an interesting move. So with that, we will kick off this matchup here against the Memphis Grizzlies as Jason Tatum rolls in, looking all classy. Here comes RJ Barrett coming off the bus, gives the camera a little wink. Hello! So let's get this one started here in Memphis. The Grizzlies are one of the many teams stuck in the middle of the Western Conference, and I know we're still in January, but they need all the wins they can get. As for our New York Knicks, we are currently 28-11. The team is playing some really good basketball, particularly over the last month or so. We are really winning some tough games and really finding a good chemistry with all of our guys. Vucevic and Zachariah Royster meet up at midcourt. The tip goes to Royster, and we are underway here in Memphis at the FedEx Forum. 2-2, your score here early. Here comes Ja Morant inside for Jaren Jackson, who misses. Good defense by Jason Tatum. And here comes the Knicks in transition. It's Royster, the rookie out of Purdue, with the dunk. Zachariah Royster had the game winner against Minnesota in the last episode. 5-6, here's Ramses, step back, beauty! Nice shot for DJ Ramses, averaging over 18 a night in his second season out of Syracuse. Ramsey inside for Jason Tatum with the throwdown. New York's looking pretty good right now as they lead 12-7. Here's Ja Morant. Ooh, nice little step back. Nice shot by Ja. He's probably heard that one before, as it's now 12-9. Barrett sends it over to DJ Ramses, trying to get open. Step back, midi, got it! The Knicks are really shooting the mid-ranger well early tonight as they lead 14-9. Here comes Ja Morant, tries to drive inside, gets it over to the big fella, Nikola Vucevic, who hits the 3. Memphis brings the lead to 2, and now it is tied at 14. Barrett, pump fake, has 3 assists early as he gets it to Coco Diablo off the screen. Diablo to Royster! Rolls Royster, rolling on into the paint as he throws it down. 16-14 now. Kyrie Irving with it over to Ja Morant, who gets it in. Ja Morant with a nice cut to the basket as it is now a tie game at 16. Desmond Bane, nice pass inside for Triple J. Jaren Jackson Jr., who dunks it home, and the Grizzlies take a 2-point lead with about 3 minutes left in the quarter. Ramses over to Watkins, over to Patrick Feinstein. Hello! Feinstein throws it down, and we are tied up once again. 18-18 now. Here's Ja Morant looking to drive inside. Oh my God, he shot Kabongo! No, he actually didn't, but the way Kabongo fell, it looked like he got shot, and if anyone's in the league is going to do it, it would be Ja Morant, who instead makes the floater. 20-18. Here's Watkins. Lobs it up. Oh, hum-diddly-dee. Patrick Feinstein with the windmill off the lob. The white man can, in fact, jump. Holy cow. We got to look at this one again. Patrick Feinstein with maybe the dunk of the year. I thought his dunk on the last possession was good, but that's nothing in comparison to this. Can we get him in the dunk contest, please? Holy cow. 22-20 now. Trey Mann with it for the Grizzlies. Off the screen. Mann connects with the three, and Memphis is now ahead. 22-23 your score. Here's DJ Ramses with a nice pass out to Cam Reddish with the Cam slam. The Knicks are really throwing it down. They've had so many dunks here in the first quarter. But why stop now? An and one slam for DJ Ramses, who's now got 9 points after making the three throw here in the first quarter. 29-23 with about 30 seconds left in quarter number one. It's Morant, spin move inside, and Morant is no good. But the putback will follow by Shaq Owens. 29-25, final seconds of the quarter. Wiseman with the screen. Ramses at the buzzer. It's good. DJ Ramses hits another shot here in the first quarter as the Knicks lead it 31-25. The Knicks did not shoot a single three-pointer in the first quarter. They went 14 of 18 from the field. That is ridiculous efficiency. We'll see if the Knicks keep up this trend of not shooting threes. The Knicks rely on the long ball more than just about anybody in the NBA, but they decided not to shoot any threes in the first quarter. So fittingly, the first possession of the second quarter is a three from DJ Ramses, who now has 16 points already. 36-27. Malachi Branham with it for the Grizzlies. Gets the screen from Jackson. Branham on the move. He's made a couple of shots here over the last couple of minutes, starting to heat up a little bit for the Grizzlies. 36-29. Barrett with the spin move goes inside for the layup. What a move by R.J. Barrett. And it is now 38-29. The Knicks ahead. Here comes Bubble Boy, TJ Warren in the corner for Kyrie Irving, who knocks down the triple. Irving in his third year with the Grizzlies after signing with a sign-and-trade a couple seasons ago. Ramses picks the pocket of Mann, lobs it up for Barrett, who goes for the 360 layup. It would have been a lot cooler if he dunked it, although the Knicks are already pretty close to tearing that rim down with how many dunks they've had in the first half. Deep three for Malachi Branham is good. The fourth-year pro out of the Ohio State University as the Knicks call a timeout. 40-35. Coco Diablo pops it out of Kyrie's hands. Diablo has room in the corner for R.J. Barrett. Over to Jason Tatum, who knocks down the three. Tatum puts the Knicks ahead by 8. Now they're up by 6. Here's Dinosaur Arms. Desmond Bane hits the triple for the Grizzlies, and it's 43-40. Jason Tatum with it for the Knicks, looking for the screen at the top of the key. Doesn't get it, so instead he sends it in the corner for R.J. Barrett, who knocks down the three. Barrett with a productive day so far offensively with 7 points and 4 dimes. Kyrie Irving with it for the Grizzlies, trying to get some room. Tough shot. Will fall. Kyrie Irving hits the three. 46-43. The Grizzlies are really playing well these last few minutes as Dumbu gets it over to Tatum. Knocks it down with the toilet roll to finish it off. Nice bucket for Jason Tatum, and it's 49-43. Bane inside for Ja Morant, who makes a nice cut to the basket. Bop, bop. Did you guys hear that? Was that Ja's weapon in his car? Desmond Bane blocked by the rookie Zachariah Royster. The Knicks now in team takeover mode as Diablo drives inside, makes the layup, and New York is now ahead by 6. Ja Morant looks to go inside. He's blocked again. Royster makes another play. Here comes Cam Reddish with nobody in front of him. Off the glass! What a slam for Killer Cam Reddish. A big play for the Knicks, who now lead by 11. Ja gets it over to Desmond Bane. Bane over to Trey Mann. Top of the key. 3 is good. And the Grizzlies making an 8-point game. Now a 6-point game. 58-52. Final seconds of the first half. DeCarlo over to Reddish at the buzzer. Bang! Big shot by Reddish off the assist by Cesar DeCarlo. And that'll wrap up the first half. It's been an entertaining game so far, 61-52. The Knicks are playing some good ball, but maybe Ja Morant can give the Grizzlies some ammo as they try to come back here in the second half. Still a very competitive ball game, and hopefully the Knicks can try to put it away here early in the second half as Tatum connects in the corner for DJ Ramses, who knocks down the three. After not shooting the three at all in the first quarter, the Knicks have integrated it back into their offense seamlessly. Irving's three is no good. Putback attempt will fall for Nikola Vucevic. Interestingly, the Grizzlies, who have now played 41 games, have had the same starting lineup in all 41 games, which is wild. Nice layup by Malachi Branham, 64-58. Now your score, make it 66-58, as Ramses' shot is no good. That's his first miss of the entire game, but it won't matter as Ahmed Kabongo gets the putback, and the Knicks are now ahead by 10. 68-58. Here's Ja. Looks to make a play. Gets it over to Malachi Branham, who is left wide open. More range than Ja's AR-15 as Branham hits the three. 68-63. Shaq Owens, the big fella. He is a large human being, showing it on that play as he gets the layup. 3-point game. Here's Ramses inside for Ahmed Kabongo, the third-year pro out of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Big-time dunk for the Knicks, who continue to lay down the lumber on these rims. 70-65, little pick-and-pop action for Shaquille Owens, who gets the layup. Owens has been busy in the third quarter. The Knicks don't have anybody who can match up with him size-wise, not even Kabongo, Wiseman, or Royster. Malachi Branham's shot is no good. Rebound by Owens again, and the Grizzlies now are at 69. Nice. They only trail by 1. Feinstein, turnaround jumper will not fall. Kabongo's there with the rebound, and he gets the putback. Busy quarter offensively for Ahmed Kabongo. While he's not done a good job of guarding Owens, he has been productive on offense. Tre Mann inside for Owens, who gets another dunk. And Shaq Owens continues to take over this game off the bench. 72-71, here comes Morant for Owens again. And the Grizzlies have taken the lead. 73-75 now. TJ Warren over to Desmond Bane, who hits the three. Desmond Bane is making the Knicks feel the pain as it's a 5-point ball game. Reddish drives inside, makes a nice layup. The Knicks needed to get a basket there as the Grizzlies are really giving themselves a nice little lead. Patrick Feinstein heads in the corner. Feinstein for the tie. Bang! Big shot for Patrick Feinstein, who's had a nice day offensively. 78-78. With about 18 seconds left in the quarter. Man, no good, but Shaq Owens is there for another putback. My lord. 2-point game now. Watkins sends it in the corner for James Wiseman at the buzzer. Got it! James Wiseman puts the Knicks ahead with a three. New York has now gotten a buzzer beater in all 3 quarters today. New York leads by 1. Now they lead by 3 here early in the fourth. Irving with a step back, passes it in the corner for Tre Mann, who ties it up with a corner three. 83 apiece now. Here's Reddish. Pump fake over to Jackson Watkins with the and one. An acrobatic layup for Jackson Watkins as the Knicks are back ahead by 3. Reddish, step back. Nice shot, and it falls. The Knicks are really starting to play better on both ends of the floor. The offense is getting their chemistry back, whereas the Grizzlies here, they've had trouble hitting open shots. Tre Mann wide open for 3. No good. That's what the past couple of minutes have been for the Grizzlies, who are ice cold to start the fourth. 7-point game. Kabongo's pass is tipped by Irving and intercepted. Here comes the Grizzlies on the fast break. Tre Mann inside for a wide open man. It's Jaren Jackson who gets the and one. Big play for the Grizzlies to get themselves some more juice. Jackson's free throw is no good, but Bane gets the offensive rebound and draws the foul. Unacceptable play there for the Knicks as Bane makes both free throws, and it's a 1-point game just like that. 90-87, turnaround jumper for Bane. What a shot. He did not get past the three-point line, and the Knicks are still ahead, but their offense has now gone ice cold as DeCarlo is inside for the layup. His first bucket of the entire game, might I add, and it's 94-91. Tre Mann looks to make a play, sends it in the corner for Bane, who draws the double. Back out to Mann. Tough shot, no good, but the Grizzlies get another offensive rebound. It's Vucevic who puts it back. The Knicks are really struggling on the glass right now, and it is costing them as they turn it over. Kyrie Irving on the steal, on the other end, makes the layup, and the Grizzlies are back ahead with 4 minutes left on the clock. 94-95, here comes Memphis. Mann inside for a wide open Triple J. Jaren Jackson with the dunk, and things are quickly unraveling for New York, who have kind of fallen apart. DeCarlo, no good. Grabs his own rebound. Nice play. Looks to get it back and misses again. You can't go 0 for 2 like that in the paint, as DeCarlo's really had a rough night scoring the ball. Good move by DJ Ramses for the dunk. He's got a team-high 21 points to put the Knicks back on the board. Despite New York's cold streak, they're only down by 1 score. Here's Ja Morant. Floater is good. Nice shot for Ja Morant. 96-91 with 3 minutes to go. Ramses, step back, three ball, got it! Big shot for Ramses, and the Knicks are only down by 2. 99-101. Here is Morant over to Kyrie Irving. Wide open three, and it is good. Big shot for Kyrie Irving. Man, Ja really loves seeing these big shots from his teammates, just like him. DiCarlo lobs it up with the steal for Royster. Great play for Zachariah Royster as it's a 1-point game. Here comes Morant. Inside. Blocked! Royster again with a huge play, this time on the defensive end of the floor. Following inbound for the Grizzlies with 1:49 left on the clock. It's Irving. Inside. Makes the layup. And Memphis is ahead by 3. Jason Tatum guarded by Ja. Fade away, will not fall. Royster with the rebound. Over to DiCarlo for 3. No good. Again, the Knicks got 2 shots on that possession. You got to hit one of those. 3-point game. Morant guarded by Tatum. Inside, turnaround jumper, no good. But the Grizzlies get another offensive rebound, and it goes for a Jaren Jackson and 1. The Knicks have gotten toasted on the glass tonight. This is embarrassing. 6-point game. New York has to get a bucket here as Barrett misses inside. The Knicks cannot stop shooting themselves in the foot. Normally, it would be Ja who's doing that. There's a foul on the 3-point shot now. Has Zachariah Royster never watched the Sonic series? Number 1 rule of defense. Say it with me, kids. Don't foul the jump shooter. Now, Kyrie Irving is struggling at the line. He has missed his first 2 free throws, giving the Knicks a little bit of life. He would make the 3rd, so it's now a 7-point game with 52 seconds left on the clock. New York's going to look to get this one off quick. Ramses, step back, 3 is good. Ramses up to 27. The Knicks came back down 15 with a minute and a half against Minnesota. They can come back down 4 here, right? They still have to play pretty much perfect. As Baines 3, no good. And sure enough, the Grizzlies get the offensive rebound. They nearly turn it over, and now the Knicks have to start playing the foul game. All because of an offensive rebound. How many times has that happened here in the second half, in particularly the 4th quarter? Jackson would only make 1 free throw. Ramses, wide open 3, no good. Yeah, you can't miss those shots in the clutch if you want any shot of winning this game. And, well, this one's over for the Knicks as they lose 118-106. This is a game that we had won. I mean, we were up pretty convincingly during the second half in the 4th quarter, but we missed too many shots. We didn't get enough stops. We allowed too many offensive rebounds. I mean, we killed our chances like Ja Morant tries to kill teenagers. 24 points for Kyrie Irving. He led the Grizzlies in scoring. Ja with 16 and 10, although we didn't get to see his big shooting range today. They had 6 other players in the double figures, including 15 boards for Vucevic and 9 for Shaq Owens. As for us, Ramses with 27, Tatum with 18. Nobody else really stood out. I thought Ahmed Kabongo was pretty good, but still, we got outscored by 21 in the second half. That's pretty unacceptable. So we're going to sim up to this game against the Hornets. I really want to get a look at their team. We get an interesting trade proposal from the Suns, DJ Ramses for Ben Simmons, who, unlike Ja, does not know a whole lot about shooting. I think we're going to pass, which is what Ben Simmons would do in that situation as well. We would get some unfortunate injury news. Patrick Feinstein suffered back spasms. He'll be out for a week or 2. And then Jason Tatum suffered a minor sprained ankle. He probably won't miss much time, but may not be available for us against Charlotte. Then we would receive this trade proposal from the Pistons. Zachariah Royster for Miles Bridges. It's an interesting idea. It would make our biggest competition in the Eastern Conference worse, while we would get better. But I would personally rather not give up Royster. I really like him for the future. We ended up going 2-1 in our sim. We lost a close one to the Thunder, but we did beat the Clippers and Bulls. We scored 147 against Chicago. I think we scored like 150 something the last time we played the Bulls. There's a reason why they're the worst team in the league. As for Jason Tatum, he scored 21 in all 3 games, so I guess he is shooting the ball a little bit more, which is good to see with our little experiment with the shot tendencies. So I think next episode we're going to get up to the trade deadline. We're going to start talking about some guys who we could look to target at the deadline. And the following episode will be the trade deadline itself. Do you guys think the Knicks should make a big move? Should we make a small move? Or should we stand pat with the core that we have now? So that'll wrap up today's episode. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And one piece of advice, don't play with guns, unlike Ja Morant.